horse, because we have a limited amount of time. So we have to do a little bit of compromise, not a compromise, something what I normally don't want to do, but I want that you take the curb bit also now in your hand, so that you set in the walk. I have them on both reins, and I have them on both sides of the mouth. And then you said you want from the beginning on a little bit transition, a step forwards with a closed frame and then a collected frame, and forwards with the collected moment. That is important. That's why I said we have to start a little bit different. That you, where we were yesterday, that you said, yeah, I want a collected walk, and then I want to go to a more open walk, but still with a good neck position, collected walk. And that's so quick as possible, one after the other. And really with sit, and really with your leg on him, yeah, exactly, really closing up that back end from the beginning on. And when he said, I don't like it, bad luck. You want it in your half hold exactly, that he collects and that he lowers the core. And that means every time when you do it. And that means that also the front end, for you feel that the front is rising, yeah, and that the neck gets in the total a little shorter, because you get more elevation. Hey? You get more, yeah, a horse in front of the seat, like here, that feel have to stay. So when he falls out of that frame, then you said, then I have to recollect him. When you do that in time, he cannot fall out of the frame. Okay. Yeah, there. And now the pressure what you have now on your hand should stay for now. When you said he gets lighter to get away from my hand, then you need a little bit more leg. That you said, when you have a pound in your hands, for example, you want that the pound will stay in the hand of the rider. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like that, exactly. Because when you let him go lighter, because he lights up by himself, then he goes again a little bit above the bit. So in the beginning, you said, I want a solid, but all the time the same, yeah, pressure. Yeah, so when he changed the pressure on your rein, that is why it's a little bit difficult with the curb bit, but that is why I said we have to make a point. When he changed the pressure on your hand, that at once you get lighter, that is the moment where you have to reconnect them back into the rein. And it is not riding tempo, but closing your leg. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so tempo I can live with. Position I want to have more steady. And so every change in the neck position should be connected by the rider with the sit into a steady contact in the hand. Like here, a steady contact is the most important part. So when he lights up in the mouth and you said that looks fine, and you light up in the same moment your hand, then he is misusing that against you. Because I was very strong thinking about the lesson from yesterday. I said something in the total is not really fitting well together. And for me, is that when he gets lighter, then you lose the contact with the mouth. And then he is misusing it. So he should not heavy, absolutely not. But also not that you said he gets so light in my hand that I have a feel I have no mouth. I have nothing to work with. Because then he is very much in this stadium from, yeah, then I misuse the lightness. I use the lightness against the rider instead of work for the rider. Yeah, the contact is very important. Yeah. That's now it starts to look more united. And so you see, lightness by a horse given can also be used by the horse against the rider. And that is then a lightness, and then the rider doesn't react with the sit. And then at once you feel he gets above, or he falls apart, or he goes above the bit. And why you don't feel it in time? Because the contact is not anymore there. Yeah. So we have to work on the contact better. We have to get better into your hands. Eh? Lightness, the real super lightness comes when he is super, super collected. That means Piaf Passage. Yeah. And I think there we have an issue to deal with, you and me and him. Now you're right, the chains of rain. So du moment that you said, I feel in my hand, it gets advanced very, very light, then in reality, I have no control. So yeah, push him into the bridle. Correct, 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 correct. Yeah. And I can repeat it 1,000 times. Eh? But lightness by going off the contact is no lightness. Yeah. Yeah, I know many horses, they have that trick in them. Eh? Good, so you want to feel you have something in your hands. You have some weight to push against. Yeah, this is good. Because I was thinking so hard about yesterday, I wasn't totally unhappy with not with you, I was unhappy with how it went. I said something is there or misunderstood, or simply he's playing a very clever trick on the rider by being maybe at once so light that you say, yeah, it feels fantastic, but in reality it isn't. Oh yeah.
He was really good Saturday until until I started working the collected canter. And that's when he gets rammy and he starts pushing against my rein.
Yeah.
And trying to stiffen out of it, that twisty stiffen thing. So I felt like my contact, everything was going really well. And he does this mostly every time I work collected canter, he starts that bullshit.
Yeah.
So I think I just, I understand. I was still very, very happy with yesterday. So
what?
Because I said I was still I know you were bothered by yesterday. But
yeah, but my as a professional, I want to be as close to perfect as possible. And I was unhappy with myself. I said something is not going here. And then I said to myself, and I was thinking about it again this morning, I said, yeah, maybe he tricks us so into lightness, what is no lightness. Good so. Now you make the reins on both sides a half a hand shorter. And then you really put them on his hocks, that you said, I approach a transition to hold, but I don't make that transition fully to hold. No, I approach it. I feel that when I want that I can make really a hold, that much he have to come down. Not too much left rein. Yeah, otherwise you have a little bit hollow neck. Now hold your rein in that position. And now trot and sitting trot. And from the beginning on, really on your butt. And when you feel your rein gets a little bit long because he tried to take the rein away from your hand, and you said, then I have to put my thumb better on top of my rein. I have to hold that rein in that moment that he gets light and then pulls. So first light and then pulls, that I can control that with a round fist. Ja, goed zo. Good. Yeah, that is correct. So now there is a lot of attention to give to what I said before, that he doesn't, little by little, steals a little bit rein off your hand. You have to give a lot of attention to the rein, that the rein can stay where you want the rein to be. And not that he is very clever. He takes half a centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 inch. And then you come again in that open area from contact and no contact. Now you have contact. Yeah. It can be also a little bit old, reserved in your head. Yeah, but when I have him a little bit too much together, maybe he stops and veers. I don't think that will happen. Don't even go there. Ride him. Goed so. Now you ride him. Eh? And think on the left side, careful that you don't get a hollow neck. Good, this is good riding, Greshko. And now you have more control over tempo than yesterday. I think we made that point clear. Lightness because of sitting or lightness because of cheating. Yeah, goed so. And then you can ride him up in that frame. Eh? You can get the pole and the neck higher. Yeah, by riding that back leg under, like here. That is correct. Now you change rein. Now you have to be careful because it is not a difficult side. It is a side where he makes it difficult for you to sit correct. Because on this side, you sit super correct now on his back. Eh? So think on the right side that you said, I sit also on my left sit bone. I don't let him fall against my right leg and then I hollow my hip. Eh? And then my right shoulder stays forward. No, your right shoulder, exactly. The right shoulder has to be a little bit back and your left shoulder a little bit forward. Exactly. There you're right, correct. Now you sit on your butt. And again, I repeat, and that's my job, to repeat. Don't fall into the trap of false lightness. Ja, goed zo. You have to stay together. Correct. This is correct. Think on this side that you said all the time you want a little bit shoulder forward. Careful that you don't try with your right rein to reach it. Try to reach it with your inside leg and outside rein met a wither. Ja, en met goed zo. En take care of your sit. Take care. Goed, that is correct. Yeah. Now you change rein. Now turn the left side forwards. That you don't lean. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Goed zo. In my opinion, your rein is slipping.
Okay, got it.
I have such a good picture on your hands now that I saw that the rain got slow. And that is also a little bit a trick. And also a little bit of weakness in a rider. We should never close our hands like a plier around the rein. But when the hand is too light in the contact to open, then it is not only that the horse steals there a little bit. No, it slips a little bit away. Exactly.
Yes, I feel it.
Yeah, focus on your hands. Ja, goed zo. And so there are things who are by him negative and not right, and things where you in such a moment, what is absolutely understandable, lose a little bit control. Yeah, so every time after 2-3 rounds, tell yourself, sit I in balance? Sit I on 2 sit bones? Do I have the rein short enough in my hand without pulling backwards and leaning? Exactly, that is correct. But one thing I see now that he is more together. And yesterday we had him a couple of steps together and then he fell apart. And together and he fell apart. It was like a cat and a mouse game. The cats do that with the mouses. They catch them and let them run away. So yeah, and think on tempo. Good. And you change rein. Now think the importance from turning right. What happened to your body? And your body said, I turn on the inside hip a little bit back. I turn on the outside hip a little bit forward. The outside shoulder goes a little bit forward. I keep contact on the left rein. And then I flex with the right rein. I flex the jaw. Yeah, and the inside leg is the good so. And it is not that I have to hold him with that leg. No, I have to be in case that I need it there with the inside leg. Eh? I don't have to be loud when you hear me. Now, with your leg, the inside leg, your leg is there and you use it when you need it. So you don't have to be all the time because then on the end you have no power anymore left in your right leg. Ja, goed zo, that is correct. Yeah. Goed zo. Now you start riding your serpentines.
Okay.
This is good. Now he has a nice, it was too early to say now he had a nice trot. He fell apart there. I don't know what happened to you.
Yeah. That was, I went to change my rein a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very important that the
that
rein is
fault.
in the correct size. Because a little bit too long by him is falling on the forehand or trying to fall on the forehand. And turning with your hips and turning with your core. Yeah, here you have your core forwards. Yeah. So the hip of the rider turns into the direction. Yeah. And the core of the rider stays forward. In reality, you have your play with your core muscles towards your hand, up and down, forwards, backwards. Eh? Then you push the horse in front of your sit. That can happen, that can happen, that can happen.
Lost my outside seat bone.
Yeah, so now think on the outside guarding rein. Yeah, because you cannot turn when you cannot guard. And now the other rein is guarding and your upper body is turning. Good so. And your neck is turning. Good, 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 good. It's not only upper body turning, also your neck turning. Well done. Good so, well done. Okay, now you change rein. Think from the right turn, your left leg and your left rein makes him straight. And then your left leg drives him into the right rein. And now your head turning. And when you turn, your hands stay together. So not turning with the hip and then the hand goes forward. Eh? And when it is forward, it is an inch forward, but it is not a hand forward. Good so, serpentine. So turn over your inside sit bone. And now you turn your upper body and your head and over the new inside sit bone, over your right sit bone. Well done. Yeah. I think that we found a solution, or a solution, not a solution, that we found, yeah, the gap, the play, what he played with you, giving you a nice light feeling, and in the meantime he shows you the finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is what he does, eh? I mean, I don't want to be negative, but for too many years he was doing what he likes to do the best, and it was in reality playing the difficult one and the idiot one. He said, now you enjoy him riding, and before you said, yeah, I hardly enjoyed riding him. Yeah.
Yes.
So, now serpentine foreloops. And very important is the pressure on that inside sit bone, where you don't hollow your hips. And where you said, I sit straight with my shoulders above my hip. I only turn my torso and my head. Yeah, because then I can give him the support with the right leg, and then I can connect him into the left rein. And otherwise I cannot do that. I cannot connect him now to the right rein when my left leg is not there. Good, good, good. And now your right leg is already coming into position. And now your shoulder comes in the turn. Correct. And now you ride the shoulder in. But think on the size of the rein. And when you said I have the long rein, then first you ride a circle. And you have to be prepared. Exactly. And when you said, and when you have to do an exercise and you feel uncomfortable, ride a circle, fix your horse, fix yourself, do the exercise. Otherwise, maybe you make a mistake. And knowing him, then he said, thank you. Outside rein, eh? Also, outside rein. Ja, Greshko, outside rein. Outside rein and inside leg. Good. That is a good riding back into a corner, shoulder in. Both hands go a little bit to the right. Eh? Both hands. Not one hand. Both hands a little bit like you go on the diagonal. Exactly. So, yeah, keep your left shoulder pointing forward. Because where his shoulders are stepping is where your shoulders have to go. Good so. Now you ride a circle. In the circle, you correct the reins. And then when you ride in the circle, then you think, where is my outside leg, where is my inside leg? Because you have to use them on the next long side to ride travers. So now you start thinking on your sit balance. Right sit bone, outside leg, outside rein. Good so, that is correct. And continue like this. This is correct. When you make them straight, you have to come straight from your right leg towards your left rein. The croup has to be placed behind the shoulder again. Good so, again at travers. So your right shoulder is a little bit forward, the left shoulder is a little bit back. Exactly, because your shoulders go with his shoulders. Very well done. And then you ride the circle to regain control, and then you ride a half pass. Now Think on the half hold. Yeah, let the shoulder float. Goed zo.
Stop changing rhythm.
Goed, the correction was in time. You started out so beautiful. And then you lost it a little.
I lost
were
the rhythm.
Not really centralized, change rein, do it again. In the half pass after the fourth step, you was moving and falling back to your outside sit bone.
I felt it.
Not into the direction after the.
Uh-huh.
Your left hip stays forward, the right hip stays in place. The reins are together, hand by hand. Not one hand away from the other one. They stay together, like brother and sister. Goed zo. And yeah, that is better. Keep it quiet. Yeah. Goed, so now a circle, regain balance, regain contact. Goed zo. Half pass left. So your right hip and shoulder are slightly forward. Your right leg is a little bit behind the curve. Pressure stays under the left stirrup. Your head goes left. Goed zo. Think on the right rein. Well done. Continue. Good, Jennifer. Circle to regain position and balance. Good, so now a little bit pressurizing right. Sit bone in preparation for half pass right. Think on the half hold, elastic on the left rein. Good, so, and light on the inside rein. So that the outside rein is the guarding rein. Yeah. You corrected them well. Circle for rebalancing and half pass left. You're doing well. Sit. I know you can. I can understand that you get a little bit tired feeling because you have made such a change in your body. Goed zo, and pressurizing and furing. Goed zo. Yeah. Goed zo, collected walk. Drive. Correct. That was correct. On the first half hold, you want to be an S. And on the second one was better, but still we want to transition back to the trot. We want them deeper and rounder in the down transition.